Yeah, that's the let's not, because we had a conversation without the audience knowing. Like, let's not just awkward silence that. Thank
He's
you,
supposed to
Crispin.
fill the gap.
Yeah, no,
Macky.
Musa, you supposed
Yeah,
to
I
just
dropped the
kind
ball
of,
there.
like,
Musa was like,
go ahead and get your point out.
I was staring at Macky.
You're looking at me. I'm looking at
Musa
him.
was like,
Not that we don't appreciate it and we don't have consumers here that like
no,
that
we
stuff.
Call of Duty dudes. Call of
But
Duty,
we're
2K, and NFL and Street Fighter. But,
just standing on top of an F-150 with an American flag.
That's how you get characters like Bandit Keith.
so like the rest of the world does.
Shout out to my guy Bandit Keith. What? Ooh. God. I almost went crazy. Come on. Oh boy. I'm sitting here doing nothing. I don't got nothing ready. I bet. What's going on, people? It's your boy Macky. Oh! Here we are. Hope you're living well. Hope you're doing right. I'm here with my good brothers. We got the razor sharp assassin with the clipper and Johnny B. We got the black Kage, the Hokage, aka Salt and Pepper Poppy Crispin. And joining us today again, the richest man in Africa, Musa. And we are nerdy by natures. Make sure you tip your waitresses. Hope you're living well. Hope you're doing right. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We have a crazy topic for you guys today. So I'm unmuting everybody.
John, I'm not even the richest man in my house. But anyway,
the king of Wakanda, Musa.
Straight from Wakanda.
Oh man.
Straight from Zamunda.
Greatest movie ever told. All right, we have a little bit of a topic to discuss with you guys today. Japan, you need to stop hoarding anime. We don't like it.
Here we go.
What?
Here you go.
That's not how we started. I thought it was
no. We could have started a little bit more friendly. You know what I mean?
No, it's very on brand for him. Let him
behave. He's an hoarding wealth.
Let him, let him get his shit off. Excuse me.
Go ahead, cook, bro.
Let him say his piece.
Cook, bro.
I appreciate it here, man. It feels so warm in here. Anyway, yeah. So Japan, you need to stop hoarding anime. Excuse me. Anime is global now, and there's no reason why. Before I even get into getting my stuff off, let me introduce the topic today. So today we are going to be talking about basically, we know obviously why anime is dictated by the Japanese audience. We, or some of us here today, are going to make the argument that it should, that not the US, but the world population,
the Western market.
Okay, yeah, let's call it the Western market. The Western market should also have, we don't have to dictate it, but we should have a say in certain animes getting reprised, or even anime studios coming here. Now, again, I know for business sense, it doesn't make sense because the writers are always getting on strike. The actors are always on strike. The animator's going to be on strike. Japan not going to mess with that. So I know that part, but I still think it would be better for, of course, us, because now there are certain animes that we would get that get either canceled or because the studio has so many anime that they're doing they can't do it, so they have to drop it, and we have to wait 7 years for season 3, Fire Force. And it's going to be better for, of course, the animators, because we know the culture of the animation studios in Japan. We saw the tweets. So somebody else talk, because I've gotten my shit off a little bit.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
Go for it, Crispin, please.
I'm not with Maggie on this one.
Very interesting.
Because I think when it comes to anime, when it comes to manga, when it comes to things of that nature, Japan takes it as a culture thing for them, right? It's like baseball in the United States, football in the United States. People probably are watching football outside the United States, but the United States ain't trying to like fuck that shit. Now we're not dealing with that. This is our stuff. Give me a second. Obviously, they're expanding. They're trying to, yes, but not as what you want to do. Like they're not gonna put an NFL team in Mexico.
Actually,
okay.
Before Musa goes, they're also, while yes, Crispin, the football, for example, is an American sport, and that's like the #1 sport in America. And the beginning of the season, they did a game in London. Am I wrong, Musa?
Doing a game,
Brazil,
but no, they've done it. They've done a game in Brazil as well this year.
You're not understanding what I'm saying, because Japanese companies come here and expose what they have for sale. See what I'm saying? It's not the same as the factoring. Oh, you could animate this for us to the United States. That's not the same.
Again, I'm not saying that we
I'm
should
trying to
animate. I just want to like reiterate. I'm not saying that we should animate it for them. I'm saying that those studios should move here. That's what I'm saying.
But
Mappa's headquarters should move. That's just one, for instance, should move here.
The reason why that doesn't happen, you know why that doesn't happen? Because of restricting policies when it comes to children animation and stuff like that.
Well, labor in general,
and that too.
But working conditions are much different.
Like
here.
over there, obviously we are old. We're older guys right now watching anime. For the United States, people look at that, you're like, y'all niggas is crazy. In Japan, they're like,
not today.
Still today, you hear it. Still today, to this day, you still hear it. Not as much as when we were kids.
No,
but it still happens. In Japan, it doesn't happen at all, like zero. That's why I said it's a culture thing. They literally have cafes that you could go in and read the actual manga without having to buy in them.
We have those too. They're called libraries.
It's not the same, because our libraries are with multiple books. For them, it's just mangas. It's literally called a manga cafe. See what I'm saying? It's totally different ways of looking at the culture. Yes. Do I want animes to be animated faster and dubbed faster? 100%. But if they don't want to do it because their main audience is their own country, salute to you, my brother. Do what you gotta do. I'm not selfish about it. I take what you give me, bro. If you're giving me this anime because it's popular over there, that's what I'm gonna go with. If I want to see the anime that's not as popular, that's why you're not dubbing it, so come over here. I'm seeing it in subs, and that's it. Call it a day. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta fight harder.
You gotta fight harder.
Nah. Because if I have something the way I have it, and you telling me to change it just because you want to see it, bro, I'm not changing it just because you want to see it. If you want to see it how I do it, and that's it.
Can I say something? Because I know John's about to speak.
No, well, Musa was gonna speak, and then I was gonna.
Oh no, I was gonna go on a whole tangent about the NFL and like the other leagues they're doing in Africa and North America expanding and all that, which was going to derail this whole conversation. But
I get it. We don't have to talk about it, but that is a good point.
Good point. Yeah. Because they have a basketball league in Africa, the NBA now.
But
right.
That's not what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is the actual NBA is not going to make an NBA team in Africa. See what I'm saying? Like the actual thing is not gonna happen
But
over there.
they would expand and have another league that's under their umbrella.
Correct.
So
it's the same thing.
I get those points. I get those examples.
Before you say anything, John, sorry, I just want to give out a statistic that I found.
Go
The
for
top
it. I
10
love
countries,
stats.
the top 10 countries that watch the most anime in 2023. Japan was number 1 at 75.8% of the population. Right?
Before you keep reading, where is this stat from?
Sensia Stats. I can send it to you guys so you guys can look at it.
I think, but also with that
You
is
keep going. I just want to know what the source is.
The second
I was gonna
most
say percentage is also relative too, because if we have more people and we're at 40%, but we have more people, it's technically more people than Japan's 75%.
We in the United States are 71.86%.
And we have more people, so that's more people overall that watch anime.
That's almost 2/3 of the country,
which is 200 million or so.
That is perfectly fine. Now, see, tell me which ones read the most. Tell me which ones read the most mangas and purchase the most mangas.
We're not talking about manga.
We're talking about everything, because everything has to do with. Because if the manga doesn't sell, they don't animate.
They don't animate it. He's
That's true.
Correct.
What are you talking about? We have to talk about the whole culture, the entire thing.
Okay.
Toys and everything.
Okay. And I think it was last year or 2 years ago that One Piece was higher selling worldwide than Batman. All of Batman.
That's One Piece. And where does One Piece is dubbed in every language, so One Piece doesn't fit in what we're talking about.
And they're going on hiatus.
Go check that video out.
Yeah, definitely go check that video out.
I love it. Sorry that I already gave my piece. I'm not gonna tangent no more. Y'all do y'all thing.
There's a lot of reasons why we get like the trickle down media from other countries, and a lot of it is who's footing the bill and who's got the rights, because everything is about IP. Everything is about rights. Everything is about distribution. Everything there's a hierarchy of all the people that got to get paid before your product is seen by the consumer. And there are many situations where, like they have a contract that says, I'm the only person allowed to distribute this particular piece of media until my contract expires, or I renew, or we agree on new terms, or for whatever reason. And that distributor could be a television network, where maybe that show or that program doesn't even hit streaming for a while because the television network as a distributor might have the rights to distribute that product solely. Like that doesn't always happen, but it can happen. Like contracts are made differently every time something new is brought to the table. So
I was going to bring that up later too, how Japan is still like, for us, we had anime where it was like, okay, it's on Toonami or something, but most of the time we watch it through streaming. They still watch on TV. Like they have how we have like the Sunday 9 o'clock on HBO block for Game of Thrones or, Penguin or whatever. They have those time slots still on TV for anime. Like it's regular TV programming for them.
But the new TV is streaming.
For sure.
When One Piece, when One Piece was coming out, all of these anime are, especially on Crunchyroll, they're simulcast.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They have a time slot in which the episode is going to drop, just like TV.
They are transitioning into streaming as well, but a large portion of their demographic does watch TV still. Just because we've moved past cable TV in most of our personal lives doesn't mean that the rest of the world has. And
we talked about before with Netflix being like bigger in North America than other.
But if we're going to talk about streaming services as a means for distribution, streaming services don't make the same amount of money as cable network television did.
Or ads and all that stuff.
That's the reason why all of our apps keep getting more expensive. Netflix keeps going up in price. Disney keeps going up in price, because realistically, they don't make money off of the few of us that are actually willing to pay for the service without commercials. So what pays the bills is advertising. And if you're a company that you're looking for the bills to get paid, you're going to go where the advertisers are going to give you the money for it. And for a lot of Japanese media, it goes to their advertisers, which may be on television networks still. Maybe that's still majority of where their ad revenue gets poured into. Maybe they're not doing YouTube ads like that because maybe YouTube isn't the main source of video consumption for them. Like we're not entirely privy as to where the day-to-day Japanese person is consuming most of their media. But I believe the people that make the financial decisions believe that it's still in network television. So they're going to prioritize things like that.
You could tell because of, sorry, John, you could tell because of the way animes are cut, like in the middle, like they literally go into a
little
commercial
10-minute. Yeah.
Sorry, John, my bad.
Well, that's the reason why we all had cable, was because you paid for cable, and that plus whatever the networks were getting from their advertisers was more than enough to keep the lights on and keep giving us new shit. But since now we're on this streaming method, it's direct to consumer, and it's a lot harder to make larger sums of money when you have to go direct to consumer. When the advertiser pays the bill, you can throw out a bunch of shows that may or may not be popular and not worry so much. But if you're only going to put out a set number of programs, you got to make sure that my audience, my demographic, is going to want to watch this, because I got to spend money to distribute it to them. So we may not get all of the programs that they make. We may not get dubs of everything that they do, because maybe some of those genres are real niche. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of romance storylines or those
you
slice
can't
of life.
find a random anime I'm gonna bring up that used to be on Toonami, and I was trying to find it for like my daughter to watch. Hamtaro. I can't find it anywhere. It doesn't
Because
exist.
nobody has the rights to distribute it. That was that was
it's
on Fuji
crazy.
TV, and Funimation did do the dub for that. So, but that means that Funimation don't have the rights for it anymore. Otherwise, it would have shown up on Crunchyroll.
They also got yeah. It's Crunchyroll absorbed them, right?
Exactly. It would be on Crunchyroll if Funimation had the rights to the dub, but they clearly don't. So you're not able to watch the program because whoever the hell owns the rights to the program hasn't distributed to the platforms. Like nobody has it. That maybe they want more money than the program is worth. Like I don't know. I wouldn't know like how the IP holders make their money off of like legacy content like that. But like just think about the media that we produce and how other markets receive it. Like think about like how the Chinese market really likes Marvel movies, and we get really big box office numbers when we put out Avengers movies in China. But the Chinese demographic is very different than the American demographic. We've had issues where they change movie posters to remove black faces because that deters Chinese audiences from going to see the film. They don't mind if a black face is in the movie, but they don't want it to be advertised to them. So they advertise differently to different regions. Imagine if we cared that much about what the Chinese consumer felt about our Marvel movies, and we decided to just start removing black characters from some of the bigger films because, well, international audiences don't want to really see black faces, so we'd rather please the audience.
I've seen that with music too, especially in like the Middle Eastern countries. A lot of the someone did a thread on Twitter. It was like a bunch of female recorder, not even just female. There was male too. Just recording artists, if they have more like risque album covers, like they had to submit altered album covers where they were like, I don't know if it was Photoshop or they actually put more clothing on or like added a certain label to like block this or like made the skirt longer or stuff like that. So yeah, even advertising, or like you said, the cover, the poster, they may listen to the song regardless, but just seeing it may deter people from even pressing play or going to the movies to see something. So yeah, I've seen that before too.
There's also like a stigma about how the rest of the world views Americans, right? And what our interests are and the things that we like. And I wouldn't be surprised if certain creators or certain studios feel like a particular story might be too niche for the American market. Oh, they wouldn't care about a story like this. This is too sentimental. This is too introspective. They want to see more action. They want shonen. They want, all the crazy fights and action figures in the video games. That's what American markets want. So they're only gonna cater the biggest budgets to those kinds of projects, and that's why we have to watch some of that more niche anime content in sub, because you're not really gonna find a lot of it in dub. It'll be available to you because we have services like Crunchyroll now,
Yeah.
but that's because they're targeting a specific demographic. So like the demographics play a huge role. There's video games that don't get translated into other languages other than
Yeah.
Japanese because they might feel like this game is so niche. Like Americans are not going to play this game.
Like
Do
Earthbound
Americans
3, right?
just like that? Do Americans like the graphic novel games the way Japanese players do? Most likely not. Do Americans like to play the JRPG turn-based video game style as much as the Japanese market?
Most likely.
Probably not. Not that we don't appreciate it and we don't have consumers here that like
No,
that
we
stuff.
Call of Duty dudes. Call
But
of Duty,
that's
2K, and NFL and Street Fighter. Like
just standing on top of an F-150 with an American flag.
And that's how you get characters like Bandit Keith.
so like the rest of the world does.
Shout out to my guy Bandit Keith.
Well, the rest of the world does have a particular perception of us, and I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing, because they try to emulate us in many, many ways and try to replicate a lot of what our culture produces. The same way that we appreciate things and try to replicate what their culture produces. Look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I'm saying? Like written by Kevin Eastman. Like these are American comic book artists that are inspired by Asian culture to create
Wu-Tang.
a comic book story. The Wu-Tang
Kung
Clan.
Fu
Like
movies.
we are inspired by their culture just as much as they are inspired by ours. But because of like why we produce the content we produce, we do it for our audience. Our videos right now are probably being targeted to mainly an American audience because we're for Americans that are experiencing all of this media from our American perspective. But there could be a time where we're going to get viewers from Europe or viewers from Australia or viewers from Denmark or other English speaking countries that want to hear, different perspectives on media that they also enjoy. And
they're definitely going to have a problem with some things that we say. And
they're definitely going to be like, why do they speak like that? Or why is this such a big deal for them? Or why
but
is this?
I think
why do you care about black people on posters?
Because we're in America, bro.
The only thing I will say, again, I hear you're looking at as a business answer or question, and that's great. I agree with most of what you said. I not agree, but I understand of most of what you said, why it wouldn't make sense to them. But I feel as though that even though I feel as though two things can be true. They can care about their Japanese audience and still look at what the world, not just America, but the world also likes as far as certain animes coming out. Like there's no reason why we had to wait 4 years now, because it's not going to come out till next year, for Fire Force to come out. No reason other than the studio that has so many anime that they are producing.
We've had conversations.
If that is the case, give it up. drop the anime so that another animation studio can produce it.
It's a competition. It's money. That's business. That's cutthroat
Ugo,
business.
you said this.
Listen, I
a couple
know, bro.
videos ago about Xbox should just keep the banjo on the shelf so Sony can't make it. You said that.
Hold up. Shut your bitch ass up.
Oh, he muted him.
Oh my God!
Don't remind me what I said, nigga.
Mike, it's all.
I know what I said.
It's all about. It's business, but it's also about popularity, bro. If something is coming in hot, no matter how big this is, if this is hotter than what the what's it called? Damn, what's that word? Fuck. The demand for this is, if this is hotter in demand, they're putting this out first. No matter how you look at it.
It's also by contract. Sometimes like people pay you to get things done. Like, oh, I was here first. Like I paid you to do this project or whatever. Like Crispin, you work on a client basis as well, right? And people can book your services for the work that they want to get done. So you're the one that shows up, it gets the work done, edits the work, puts everything together, and then gives it back to the customer. People can only get their shit on your schedule.
Yep.
And that's why they have to book you and pay you, maybe put a deposit, pay you a little bit ahead of time to ensure that you have, time to get their work done. And that's how studios take on projects as well. Hey, I paid to get this done. We shopped it around. The studio, had the best price, or the studio is going to give us what we want in the time frame that we want. That's why we made the contract. That's why we went with your studio. So sometimes I can't do your shit until I'm done with the 7 other fucking commitments I just made.
Fair enough. But the studio that has Fire Force is David's studio. I'm looking at their list. They ain't doing much of nothing, bro. They did JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Cells at Work, Strike Witches Road to Berlin.
JoJo's pretty popular, right?
Yeah, but that was in 2019 that they did. No. They haven't done it since then. They did another Cells at Work.
Fire Force since then either. It's like
they did. They did Undead Unluck, which was, people really liked that joint.
Well, we don't know what their animation team looks like. And how many staff members they have.
Seinen High School boys volleyball team. I've heard about this one too, but like, I don't think any of these are. Maybe the only one would be Undead Unluck that would be rivaling Fire Force in popularity, but the ones that they've had since they had Fire Force.
It's not popular. They're not popular.
They're doing a disservice. They're doing a disservice to their. They're doing a disservice to their audience, man. I just want to watch Fire Force. The anime's been done for like 2 years now.
The manga, you mean?
I mean, the manga has been done for 2 years now.
It's understandable that as a consumer, you've gotten used to things coming out on a regular schedule, and when they take really, really long breaks, it feels like.
But I think that's with everything, though. Since COVID, it's been like that, bro. A show will come out, and again, we, to be honest with you, are oversaturated with the amount of shows, animes that we have now. There's so many animes that you probably won't even be able to watch half of them in your entire lifetime.
No, definitely not.
But at the end of the day, there are certain ones where we know the demographic of people that like this, right? I know that Fire Force is not high on most people's lists. I'm not gonna sit here and act as if it isn't. Sorry, Musa. I'm not gonna sit here and act.
I was gonna say, bro, why are you riding for this show so?
Bro, I really like Fire Force.
It's a good show. I did enjoy that.
Well, I know why John likes it. I'm trying to figure out why Macky.
I like that show too.
Why
I like that show too. But give me a second.
Because of the fan service.
Of course, 100%.
There could be more fan service in it, and then I would like it more.
Look at him; he's not even satisfied with the fan service.
Listen to me. They could be just holding back because other animes that have come out in the couple of years that have been like before, like after Fire Force ended, the anime have been freaking really popular. And had a lot of hype behind them. And imagine putting Fire Force that really did, had hype at the beginning, but then dropped, right? and then throwing that in front of something that has really hype, it's gonna be a failure. I mean, when it comes to viewing times and viewers in streaming services, you know what I'm saying? So it's all also a numbers thing. If there's gonna be a slow thing, if they have it already animated, they could just drop it. They'll be like, oh, next season, the shit's got to be slow. We could drop it now. Boom. And everybody's gonna be like, oh shit, Firefox coming. You know what I'm saying? And then it takes off again. That's also what I'm thinking. They're probably doing something like that. I don't know.
Word.
Yeah, that's the let's not, because we had a conversation without the audience knowing. Like, let's not just awkward silence that. Thank you, Crispin.
Fill the gap.
Yeah, no, Musa, you supposed
to. I
just
dropped the
kind
ball
of,
there.
like,
Musa was like,
go ahead and get your point out.
I was staring at Macky.
You're looking at me. I'm looking at
Musa
him.
was like,
yeah,
yeah, that's it.
No, what I was just gonna say, like, real quick, because it could be a 50-minute topic in of itself, was just kind of the comparison between the video game market and anime, because not Xbox, because that's American, but as far as Nintendo and PlayStation goes, back in the day until around, I say, the 7th generation, about how they used to get these systems 3, 4, 5 months ahead of us. Like, they would get it like March, and then we would get in around the holiday time, which might be a cultural thing as well, as we were saying earlier, around Japanese culture. American culture is Black Friday, holiday shopping, and everything like that. But then now we're kind of seeing simultaneous drops, like we talked about, or we didn't talk about, but Pokemon, which kind of ties into the broader spectrum of what do you call it, like merchandising, the anime, and everything like that. So
Yeah.
them being ahead in the anime or the manga kind of contributes to that. But I think X and Y was the first Pokemon games that came out worldwide at the same time, and that also could be not just popularity in the video game spreading around, but also the fact that there's digital releases and things like that. So
the internet has made
right,
simultaneous release a possible thing for everyone.
yeah. And still, as you mentioned earlier, certain things that aren't as popular are niche. I know, like, Falcom makes these like Ease games, or what's the other series they do? Legend of Heroes series. And we may not get the localization of that or translation for like 2-3 years after they get. Like, we're getting games that come out in 2024 that came out in Japan in 2021. So, like, there are still a little bit of that, like, okay, this is too niche as far as video games go, that they'll take its time to come over here before it's going to make money. But do we think at some point that shift is also going to hit anime, or is it harder because of what we said earlier with manga coming out first
and advertisements and all that other stuff?
Like, there's more factors, I guess, because the manga comes out, then the anime, like, it's on a schedule, which is different than video game adaptations, which don't necessarily have to follow a source material.
Again, the schedule is messed up because it's not like everything follows. Like, we don't follow that schedule anymore. It's not like how it was back in the day where it's nonstop. We have seasons now. So anime, again, Fire Force. The only reason why I bring Fire Force is because season 1, season 2 was really popular, and then it's been 4 years since season 2. So but yeah, perfect example, Fire Force. It's been 4 years since season 2, and the manga is already done. The manga has been done like 2 years ago. So there's no reason why things can't happen here. I get all the business jargon, and I really do believe that there are certain niche things that may turn off American audiences. Like, I know in Japanese culture, boys, they kind of do the same thing here, but boys are a little more affectionate to other men in Japanese culture. Like, they'll stick, they
hug them a certain way.
They play weird games, but we play, like, not we.
That sounds like my regular. That's like a regular white boy locker room, buddy.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Like, they do that shit too. Like they do that shit over here. They be like, yo, don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. Doing that weird, regardless of which culture. For me, it's not my cup of tea, but
it's your cup of D.
Whoa. Whoa. That's how you shut Macky up. For sure. That's how you tell him that he'll stop talking.
And that's how you end up.
That's how you end the show.
Yeah,
look, I understand. I agree with you to a certain degree, Mac, that these companies overseas should be paying attention to how popular their products are, especially with like the American market growing more and more popular as the years go on. More and more younger Americans are getting into playing all kinds of video games, and they're watching all kinds of anime shows, both old and new, because now they're available on all of these streaming platforms, and memes always make older things relevant again. People go back to discover where certain jokes come from in the internet. And because of the way we interact and share with each other on the internet, there will be like a general consensus of what's good and what's appreciated and what isn't in all audiences. But the people that run these companies right now, I don't think they're in the mindset of thinking outside of Japan, because a lot of it is just Japanese culture or things that they want to put out for a Japanese audience, and they know they can sell it overseas, so they do. But not everything gets localized. We don't get dub translations in many languages. Sometimes an anime may only get dubbed in English. You may not get the Spanish dub or a Portuguese dub. Just plenty of countries that probably get left out, or probably just don't get a dub for years. Maybe they do get one, but it's like way after the Japanese and the English dub have been out because of whatever. Maybe there was no studio that they wanted to pay to get it done.
I've seen people complain for even video game translations to not obscure languages, but maybe like, I don't know, like Polish or something. Like I've seen that too, where they get skipped out on even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of European countries have to just play the English version.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Europeans do speak English, but it's besides the point. Like, there are demographics that are left out of certain things, and the reasons why we don't get them here is the same reason why not everything that we do gets picked up and really pushed in other markets the same way. Like what we were talking about with American sports, and when we were talking about American superheroes and comic books. But I think that the trends will change as the years go on. I think that these companies are going to hit a wall where they know they need to either hire more employees or create better work culture, so that we can not only get more media, more content to consume, but it's not at the expense or the health or the lives of the people that create it. And we have like a healthy little cycle going on. Like, you love to work, we love to watch what you do. Like, it's great. No, it's not us just begging for more fight scenes and you like never seeing your family because you're always at work. Like, that's not fair, Mac. We can't do that. They got to go home, they got to spend time with family, and we need to give them that time.
They gotta start. They gotta start having families. Them niggas is old out there.
Final thoughts.
Macky's crazy.
All right, fair enough. And with that being said, someone let you know what to do at the end of the video. Y'all be safe. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Catch you on the next one.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Macky O.M. Ayo! And you made it to the end of this video. We appreciate and love every single one of you nerds that have come, watched, and now you have conquered, okay? If you want to follow us, you can subscribe to the YouTube at Nerdy by Nature TV. That's Nerdy by Nature TV. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That's Nerdy by Nature Podcast, the Nerdy by Nature Podcast. And guess what? We're also on social media. You can follow us anywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Nerdy by Nature TV, that's at Nerdy by Nature TV. And if you don't follow us, why I oughta. I'll see you there. Peace.